I know, I know. It's Monday. We're getting ready to head back to work or get back into that Monday through Friday routine. No worries, guys. I got you covered. We're here to talk a little Elite Eight matchups going into Monday. We're down to 8 teams. That's it. Sports Snippets with Dennis Sullivan here. Before I go to the snippets board, before we get into this breakdown, go ahead. You don't have to smash the thumbs up button. You don't even have to hit it with force or anything like that. Just go ahead and tap the thumbs up button if you do like the content of this video. Also, feel free to subscribe to Sports Snippets with Dennis Sullivan. That would be awesome. We got a lot. Baseball around the corner, Final Four this coming weekend, all that good stuff. So let's get into it, guys. Here we go. So what I want to do in this video is I want to highlight the 2 games that are going to be played today, Monday the 29th. And of course, these 2 winners will advance to the Final Four. So let's go to the snippets board. Let's check it out. Today we have, of course, Oregon State becoming the 2nd team that was a 12 seed to ever make it this far in the tournament. They will match up against the Houston Cougars, and Arkansas will match up against Baylor. 2 winners from today's games will advance to the Final Four, which is like one of the ultimate prizes for a college basketball team, player, coach. Can you make it to what they call a Final Four? 2 winners today will do just that, guys. Was watching all these teams really over the weekend in the Sweet 16 round, so I want to talk about each matchup real quick. A few things that I do very, very much believe will be the keys to these games. When we start off with Oregon State versus Houston, I mean, Houston is the favorite. It's interesting how Houston's gotten this far as a 2 seed. They've been playing lower than usual seeds, as in, for example, Oral Roberts. Take that back. Syracuse, who was also a lower seed, as an 11th seed in the Sweet 16 round. But Houston coming in at a 2 seed against 12 Oregon State. Now, Oregon State obviously can play tough defense. That team from the Pac-12 flew right under the radar in a conference that was obviously stronger than most everyone thought. They came into this tournament, underdogs right off the bat, and just won, and got themselves to the Elite Eight. How did they do it against Loyola of Chicago? In the Sweet 16 round, defense, defense, defense. They held them to about 33% shooting. This is a team that held Loyola of Chicago to only 16 points in the first half. You don't do that without playing really strong, solid defense, guys. Oregon State can scrap their way to a Final Four. I'm not predicting that it's going to happen, but they could do just that. Houston Cougars, we got to look at the whole picture here, guys. Some things I really liked about Houston in their win against Syracuse on Saturday night. Kelvin Sampson's strong coach. We talk about underrated coaches. Kelvin Sampson's been a very good college basketball coach in his career, and also at the NBA level, by the way. Don't forget, Kelvin Sampson, he's coached both levels, collegiate and also professionally in the National Basketball Association. He's a fantastic coach. One thing I like about Houston, let's talk about them real quick, guys. My eye test in watching this team, you got a lot of top-notch athletes on this team. They're very athletic. But what they do on the offensive end is particularly impressive in their half-court sets, their half-court offense for Houston. They were doing this against Syracuse, almost like this high-low double post they were doing in the middle. It got some good results. They'd have a guy up near the foul line, then they'd sneak another big guy towards the bottom of the key, like right under the basket almost, who would kind of flash in the bottom. And it was working very well against a tough Syracuse defensive team. They will get out and run if they can. Of course, Houston's fast. They got some good guards. So they can beat you at any pace. But if you slow them down, which Oregon State may try to, I'm pretty sure is going to try to do, that you haven't really won anything yet, because now you got to contend with the Houston half-court offense, which looked good on Saturday. So Houston is in good shape to go to the Final Four, but we'll see what happens, guys. Don't forget, Oregon State's been counted out all tournament, and they've come through all tournament playing some hard-nosed basketball. So we got to see what happens in that one. Next up, Arkansas Baylor. Let's talk real quick. When we look at Arkansas Baylor, Baylor had a nice win, even down at the half against Villanova. Come back and play super strong at both ends in the second half. Defeat a really good Villanova team by 11 points, 62-51 on Saturday. They didn't extend anyone as far as their three-point shooting did Baylor. They didn't really shoot the ball that great either, but what they did was they won that turnover battle against Villanova 16-6. Baylor's got good guards. They don't turn it over much. They're very careful with the basketball, very disciplined in a sense with the basketball, and their guards are good. Also in the form of Mr. Adam Flagler, who came off the bench to score 16 points in the Sweet 16 round against Villanova. So this Baylor team is tough in many aspects, mainly in their quality depth at guard from what I've seen. You got to be careful with this team. Plus the fact, they come in, they're one seed. It's a team that's a top 5 ranking going into the tournament, more like a top 3 ranking going into the tournament. So they've held up their end of the bargain, no doubt. They are the favorites in this game. However, Arkansas, this is a 3 versus 1, right? Arkansas comes in as a 3rd seed. What do we see from Arkansas? You see relentless rebounding, particularly at the offensive end. Arkansas will not let up. They will put the pressure on you. They will send their guards to the basket. They will put the pressure on as far as rebounding the basketball and getting themselves second chance shots. Very important. Arkansas is a team to be reckoned with. They had a big performance from Jalen Tate and also from Devontae Davis, who would hit the game-winning shot in their win against Oral Roberts. Arkansas is mature. They seem like a very mature team as well. Why do I say that? They were down all game against Oral Roberts until they basically didn't take any shots from what I saw in like the last 10 minutes of the game, unless it was a high percentage shot. So they held their own, they hung around, and then of course finally pulled it off with a 72-70 win against pesky Oral Roberts, guys. So, Arkansas, do they have a shot against Baylor? I'm going to say they do. They out-rebounded Oral Roberts by 11 in that game in the Sweet 16. They turned them over 13 times as well. So, this is a close one, guys. Most people are going to favor Baylor. I understand that. But Arkansas is not, if they're an underdog, I don't consider them to be a very big underdog in this game based on what I've seen. So I'm going to say, this is a toss-up right here, guys. Flip a coin. Leave me a comment down below on who you think is going to win that Arkansas-Baylor game. I wrote down rebounds and turnovers because really, if we look at the Sweet 16 round, these games were really decided on who's going to win the battle of the glass and also who's going to win the battle of turning the ball over, getting the team they're playing to turn it over more. Because if you look at the Sweet 16 round, if you're a big fan of three-point shooting, it wasn't happening in the Sweet 16. If you're a big fan of fluid offensive basketball, it really wasn't happening in the Sweet 16. Run and gun? No, not really. Really wasn't happening in the Sweet 16. Fast break 1980 style Los Angeles Laker basketball wasn't happening in the Sweet 16. Not with these teams. So really, it could very well come down to rebounding and turnovers. Who's going to win those battles as we head into this next round, the Elite Eight? Once again, 2 winners, as we talk about next. 2 winners will advance to the Final Four. Leave me a comment. Don't forget to just go ahead and tap that thumbs up button. And I will talk to you soon. We will catch up later in the week when a Final Four has been, I don't want to say chosen, has been decided, guys, has been decided. I will catch up with you in a few days. Over and out from now. Leave me a comment. We'll talk soon.